Well, in this week's Bible readings, we're going to just continue our journey through the Gospel of John, and we're just watching Jesus walk through these various scenarios and encounters with different people, and we're watching Him lead these disciples, and they are learning better about what it means to just follow Jesus. And if you were at church on Sunday, you know that we talked about the meaning of the word disciple. It means a pupil, or learner, or student, but that's what the word means. But when you look in the New Testament, that word's used 269 times in the New Testament. And in the New Testament, the meaning is a little more significant, I think. It's a little fuller in the sense that a disciple in the New Testament really is a follower. These men that were with Jesus that we usually refer to as the 12 disciples, well, they left everything and followed Jesus. In fact, one time that's what Peter actually says to Jesus. So they weren't just guys who were sitting in a classroom somewhere and were learning something. This was their life. And so one of the things that needs to happen in our own lives is that we have to make a commitment to be disciples. We're to be followers of Jesus. Well, the good news is there have been lots of people who have done that very thing. And so, if you were at church on Sunday, you know that we talked about being mentored, about being in the kinds of relationships where other people can lead us. So during this part of our journey in 2011, we are spending these few weeks discussing what it means to live in the right kinds of relationships. And one of those relationships that should be in place for all of us is that we should have people who are mentoring us, people who are discipling us, helping us better understand what it means to live this Christian life. I told you on Sunday morning that I've got people like that in my life. One of the men that has had a huge impact upon my life is Paul Powell. Paul was, for many years, was a pastor in Tyler, and he also served as the dean of Truett Seminary. He was president of the annuity board, which is now called Guidestone. And Paul has been a mentor in my life. He's been someone that I consult with and ask questions about when I face issues that I'm struggling with as a pastor. And when I was a much younger pastor, he was very much a part of my life on a regular basis because I wanted to learn from someone. My theology has been shaped by other mentors, and some of them are authors. They're people that have had a big impact on my life. I mentioned that Sunday morning. For example, I've got a couple of these books here with me right now. This book right here by John Stott, the contemporary Christian, or his book Basic Christianity, which has been a huge bestseller. Well, John Stott is a man who has helped to shape my understanding of the New Testament. And I consult him. I've read numerous books by Stott, that I have some at home in my library that I read regularly. Henry Nouwen, who is a Catholic priest, has written several volumes that have just had a profound impact on my devotional life, my spiritual development. The Return of the Prodigal, or this book, Here and Now, which he wrote at the mature stage of his life. These are books that I go back to again and again and again and just read through them and listen to the insights from these people who have followed Christ for a long time. And so I hope that you've got somebody like that in your life, a handful of people that are helping to shape you, and it's because they're followers. They're down the road a little bit more than you are. But then remember, I also talked about on Sunday how we know we're growing and we're maturing when we have people that are following us. And so one of the stages of spiritual transformation is that we get to the point where we're actually mentoring someone else and we're helping to lead them and help shepherd them in their own spiritual life. So I want you this week to reflect on leaders perhaps in your own life, and healthy relationships that you have with them, and be thankful to God for them, and just be invested in those relationships. Then also, I want you to think about the opportunity you have to lead others. And so I trust that we are receiving these blessings and we're handing them off to others. And God's using us as we're growing personally, as we're benefiting from others who've grown, and we're also being of benefit to someone else. So I'm praying for you in these relationships that have to do with leadership in your life.